Welcome to another video from 55 degrees north. Today is a little bit different. Normally you'll find me out and about exploring the streets and hidden corners around Newcastle. But for this one I'm away from my usual walk. And I'm somewhere just as historic and arguably even older. Today we're in York. The city has over 2,000 years of history packed into its walls. From Roman legions who founded it to the Vikings who renamed it Jórvík, and the medieval streets that still survive today. York is like walking through a living timeline, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So this is Victoria Gardens. I think it's just a little garden area just up from the River Ouse. You can see they've got the war memorial in the middle there with the poppies round. You can see there, obviously they've been here since November when it was Remembrance Sunday. So we'll continue up into the main city centre. So just some basic facts about York as we walk into the city centre. York has its roots dating back to Roman times. It was founded around 71 AD by the North Legion. It was critical a Roman city where Emperor Hadrian held court. Then we moved on to the Viking Age. It was taken by the Vikings in around 866 AD. It became the capital of Jórvík for over 100 years. The city walls. York has the longest stretch of the Roman fortress walls still standing in England. And York Minster is one of the largest Gothic cathedrals in Northern Europe. So just a few little facts there for you about York as we actually walk into the city centre. So you can see we've got some of the old city walls in front of us. We'll just go up and take a closer look. So this is part of the York Museum Gardens. So the North Legion, according to the sign there, built this massive fortress in AD 71. So you can imagine Roman soldiers walking through these areas. Guarding the city from attack. So we're heading up right into the city now. You can see the Minster just appearing in front of us there. That little train that's passing takes you to the National Railway Museum, drops you off at the Minster when you come back from there. So you can see the Minster in all its glory. And just a bit further up on the Minster itself, there's a new statue of Queen Elizabeth II which was installed on the Minster a couple of years to commemorate the late Queen. I'll get a little bit closer so you can see that. You can see just up on the plinth there, like the Newcastle stone. You can see it stands out compared to the rest. Here's the late Queen Elizabeth II taking pride of place on York Minster. I'll just have a walk across, give you an idea how much it is to go into the Minster, because I don't think it's cheap. So opening times there 9:30, last admission 4 PM. Ticket prices: York residents are free, adults £20, students £6, children 17 and under free, obviously with one paying adult. So here we have a statue of Constantine the Great, AD 274 to 337, proclaimed Roman Emperor in York, AD 306. So we're now around the back end of the Minster. Give you a look at the massive window, it's at the back there. And we've got these what look like really old buildings on College Street, what they call it, formerly Vickers Lane. You see, these look ancient. So this is the York Minster Conference and Banqueting Centre, St William's College, founded in 1461. So we're now walking down the Shambles, and this is one of Europe's best preserved medieval streets. You can see how close the buildings are together. It's quite busy down here.
It's alright.
So most of the buildings in this street originate from the 14th and 15th centuries. And it was originally known as the Great Flesh Shambles because it was a street full of butcher shops where overhand and upper floors and raised pavements were designed to protect the meat from the sun and allowed the blood to wash away. You see, busy, a lot of tourists come down this street. You've got these like little alleyways around to the little market at the back, and all the timber. You've got this little market area around the back, selling different things. I believe this market's on most days. And bags, belts, and like your tea towels. More bags. And mobile phone accessories. And we'll head over to this little area down here, which is like a little food court, I would say. We'll go and have a look, see what I've got here. So, I've got a Thai place there, Thai food. Got burritos up there. Got crumbles. Teas, coffee, hot dogs, fries. On this side, we've got the shop that must be not named, sorry. I think that's something to do with Harry Potter. Got a Christmas shop over there. What we've got here?
See you soon.
Got Indian street food. Got fish and chips.
Sam?
Coffees, crepes, stuff like that. The York looks like it's full of these old churches. I don't know what they call this one. And we've got another little sort of shopping area here. We've got next over the way there. And we've got another store a lot of people I recognise from your home city of Newcastle, Penwick. And we've got the usual Primark over the other side, which every town city's probably got one by nowadays. And straight ahead over there we've got the Jórvík Viking Centre, which you can go on a tour. Tells you all about the history of York through the Viking period. Parliament Street. See what's up here. I believe this is where the Christmas market and that's held, different markets through the year. All tree lined. So we'll head up towards the top and we'll see what's up there. Got a massive clock coming up on the left there. Some sort of parish church of St Helen with St Martin. So another church within the city. I'll give you a quick look at that one. You can tell these are old, ancient and old. So this is Kin Square, where you have people performing, street artists, different fins. We'll have a walk up back towards the Minster. See, these streets are narrow, all old buildings. Good thing is there's no traffic comes down. We've got a lot of like independent shops around here. Closed shops. Obviously you've got a Poundland just on my right there. We've got Wildwood, a pizza, pasta and grill shop. Got a fine art shop. And we've got a place called Duns Court, formerly Mad Alice Lane. So we're now walking up High Peter Gate, where you can see one of the gates to the city is at the far end. Obviously a fortified defence at some point. Well, there's something strange about this one for me. If you look above the arch, it's got two arrow slits where they used to fire the arrows through. But what the strange thing is, why would they have them facing inwards and not outwards? You wouldn't be shooting people inside your own city walls, would you? Just seems a bit of a strange thing to have the slits facing that way when you're defending your city from the outside. We'll continue through and have a look at part of the old wall itself, which is, I believe you can get out just round here. So it says here, the Roman fortress plaque marks the site of the Porta Principalis Dexter of the northwestern gate of the Roman fortress, of which the foundations, as rebuilt AD 300, lie just below. So now heading up the York city walls itself. Let's try and have a look, give you an idea what it look like. You can see old portcullis there. Go through the gate. Whoop. We can actually walk along the city wall itself. So you can get an idea what fins look like. Obviously when this was originally here, there would have been none of these buildings built around. It would have been probably all open fields. So we're out at one of the main sort of turrets here. It's another high defensive position. You can see across the top there. And you've got the slots, which you can actually see is full of cobwebs and that now. But lookout positions. I'll just give you a little look, obviously how the city walls were used. Big sections of these walls left, very big sections, unlike the city walls in Newcastle, my home city, which is very little left. As you see, we've got another high position here. Again, you can see over the top. If you look along there, you can see the walls stretch on and on, go quite a way around. As you see, as we come in, we had the portcullis, and you had the windows through there looking down, and these slots what were used for firing arrows, which I said to you earlier on, are on the wrong side for me. So we'll continue heading back to where we started and see more of the city wall. What's still left, many parts of it still left. You can see another bit just ahead there, plenty of people walking up it. Even got seats on it so you can have a rest from your endeavours walking around the city of York for the day. As I say, most of York City walls still remaining. Obviously I don't think for 1 minute that these archways were here originally. I think these has obviously been put into a later date when the road network and that was built, because I don't see them needing big archways like this or just to ride horses through all them hundreds of years ago. So that concludes today's video, this little walk around the city of York. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a massive thumbs up, as it really helps the channel grow. And if you've not already done so, please consider subscribing to 55 Degrees North and hit that bell notification for at least more videos. A massive thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on 55 Degrees North.